I was stationed at a submarine base in Connecticut, grinding through Navy training. That's where I met Bill. Now, Bill wasn't the stereotype of a Navy sailor you see in movies. He was short, a little on the chubby side, glasses slipping down his nose half the time. But let me tell you, Bill had a brain sharper than a sonar ping. He was meant for this job. As a sonar technician, the guy would have been an absolute asset to any crew. Pragmatic, logical, and loyal. Exactly the kind of friend you want in your corner. But there was a problem. See, some of our instructors, 2 petty officers, decided they were drill sergeant wannabes, the kind who confuse being in shape with being a good sailor. They weren't just strict. They were sadistic. Picture 2 guys who lived in the gym, veins popping, always flexing like they were auditioning for a Marine commercial. They treated our training, nerdy, tech-heavy training, as if we were auditioning for SEAL Team 6. And Bill? He was their favorite punching bag. Even though he passed all the actual Navy fitness requirements, they'd single him out, calling him fat, lazy, useless. They even told him, straight to his face, that he should just kill himself. Imagine hearing that day after day from people who control your future in the military. One day, Bill injured his knee from pushing too hard in PT. The base doctor gave him a light-duty chit, official paperwork, saying he needed to recover. The petty officers didn't care. They threatened to kick him out if he didn't keep doing workouts. So he pushed harder. He hurt himself more. And slowly they broke him down. Back then, the Navy didn't offer real mental health resources. If you were struggling, your only option was a chaplain. Ours was a tiny, sweet woman, always smiling, the kind of person who made you believe maybe kindness could exist in a rigid system. Bill actually worked up the courage to make an appointment with her. But when he told the petty officers, they ripped him apart again. Pussy, weak, nobody cares about your problems. They promised his life would be hell if he skipped class for that meeting. So Bill canceled it, and that night, as if things couldn't get worse, his girlfriend dumped him. At 3 a.m., my phone rang. It was Bill. I answered. Bill? You there? Hello. Silence. Just faint static. I figured it was a drunk dial. Sailors drowning sorrows. It happens. So I hung up and went back to sleep. The next morning, I found out the truth. Bill had slit his own throat. He called me, called several of us, as he was bleeding out, but he couldn't speak, couldn't even whisper. By sheer miracle, the cold air outside clotted the blood just enough to keep him alive until EMS arrived. The doctors later said he missed his carotid artery by less than a millimeter, a literal hair away from death. We rushed to the hospital, and that's where we saw her. The chaplain, this tiny, sweet woman looked like an angel most days. But that day, as she walked out of Bill's room, her face was carved from steel. Rage radiated from her eyes. Not the kind you yell about, the kind you act on. I will never forget it. She didn't have to say much. We all knew. Someone was going to pay. Bill survived, barely able to talk. But he told us everything. The pressure, the harassment, the way those petty officers convinced him nobody cared. And he cried when he admitted how glad he was that it didn't work. A week later, we got called in by the Chief of Training Command. He asked about those petty officers, and we unloaded. Every lie, every setup, every insult. But honestly, I think it didn't matter. Their fate was already sealed. The next day, they were gone, just vanished from training, replaced overnight. So I went to the chaplain. Ma'am, what happened to them? She teared up. She told me she'd never been more disgusted by a sailor's actions in her entire career. That 2 men had the audacity to stop someone from coming to her, from getting help. It broke her heart. And then she told me what she did. She went straight to the admiral, the man who ran the entire base. She demanded their discharge, and the admiral didn't hesitate. Both petty officers were immediately processed out with other than honorable discharges. For anyone who doesn't know Navy life, that's a social and financial death sentence. No retirement, no VA benefits, no access to base housing. One of them had 18 years and just 2 years away from retirement and lost everything. The other had 12 years and still got obliterated. And finding a job? Forget it. With a discharge like that, even fast food places that operate on bases won't hire you. They were done. Finished. The Navy gave them nothing but a single bus ticket home. Their careers, their families, their futures. All collateral damage to their own cruelty. As for Bill, the Navy granted him a full medical discharge. He got E5 pay for life. Benefits. Counseling back home. A real chance to recover. And recover he did. Years later, I saw him on Facebook. Badge on his chest. Happily married. A police officer. Meanwhile, those two petty tyrants who push him to brink, probably flipping burgers somewhere, if even that. And to this day, I thank God for that chaplain. A quiet storm who decided enough was enough, and personally delivered the justice Bill deserved. F. Climactic revenge payoff. Narrator slow, almost savoring it. Two men who thought they were untouchable, destroyed with a single signature. 18 years, 12 years, wiped out. And all because